Hi, welcome to this reading. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I do readings as I'm guided, and today I'm doing a collective reading. It's been building in me for a while, and today felt like the right time to do this reading. I've been sitting with the word truth for a while now, a couple of days, and it's been showing up around me and the people around me, and really thinking about what is truth, what it means to speak one's truth, what it means to live from a place of truth. And as I was meditating before this reading, what kept coming up was the throat chakra. Before I even sat down, I'm wearing blue, and I chose to wear a blue necklace. There's definitely a lot going on for this collective around the throat chakra, and around the need to speak one's truth, and having experienced a fear of speaking your truth because of the fear of losing safety, or the fear of insecurity or instability. When we do speak our truth, when we allow that to come to the surface, it can be disruptive to the status quo, and that can be quite scary. But when we don't speak the truth, what ends up happening is that truth doesn't go away. We just end up bottling it down inside of us until eventually it wants to explode out. And so when I was meditating, what I got was that this collective is releasing something. And whatever it is that you're releasing out into the world, whether it's just even releasing it to yourself through acknowledging to yourself, it's bringing a deep sense of relief. As I experienced this sense of releasing something, it felt like a sigh or an exhale, like, oh, I can finally breathe again. So there's been something that's been kept deep under the surface, that is ready to come up and be released, and that is bringing you some sense of relief. And I also got that there's mental chatter. And even for me, coming to this reading, it took me a while to get here because there were so many thoughts going on in my head, that were also contributing to doubt about, oh, is this actually the right time to be doing the reading? The other things going on in my life that just kept kind of popping in, where usually when I do sit down to do a reading, I'm very present with the reading, but I just noticed today that there was a lot of additional mental chatter related to doubt. And so I felt that that was also a message for this collective, that this truth does want to come up, and you may also be experiencing this mental chatter that's having you doubt it. But you know that if you do actually speak this truth, it's going to bring a huge sense of relief. So for the overall energy, we got desire, and Ngame from the African Goddess deck, as you can see here, is also a triple goddess, so representing past, present, and future, similar to Hecate as well. And Hecate is the goddess of the crossroads. So there's something here about you being at a choice point. There's a decision that you're making about the future path that you're choosing. Like, where are you going to point this arrow? In what direction are you going to move your energy towards? And is it going to be from this place of doubt and fear and this mental chatter? Or is it going to be from a deep place, like a deep sense of a truth that wants to come through? This is actually reminding me of a workshop series that I've run called Voices from the Heart. And the purpose of this workshop was to create space for people to share these deeper truths that sometimes exist in the heart, where it doesn't feel safe at times for that to come out. And so that's also a reminder actually for you, in whatever truth it is that's wanting to come out, to create a safe space for yourself to allow that truth to emerge. And part of why I'm saying that as well is because when I pulled a couple of cards just to ask, well, what is being released? Like, what is the thing that is so scary, or this truth that is so difficult that needs to be released? And I will just give a forewarning that these cards are a little disturbing. So I won't show, I'll show them briefly, but I won't linger on them. But I do find that these cards are very helpful. This is actually let me just confirm, the Abandoned Oracle. But I did feel that there was a need to go into some deeper territory, especially because we're talking about truth having been hidden in the shadow. So I felt the need to go a little deeper into the shadow to see what it is that's emerging. And the first card that I got is the Infant. So as you can see, this lamp is shining on this infant, and this card is giving me the energy of inner child. So it seems like there's something deep within you, a deep knowing from when you were a child, that wants to rise to the surface to be seen, right? The spotlight is on the child. So, but you can see that, this child is all alone right now. It looks kind of sad and scared. And so there does need to be a sort of way of, again, once we get to this point in our lives, we can be parents to ourselves as well. So as you can see, I'm even doing this, like holding my chest, even just putting your hands on your heart as you acknowledge a truth that you have deep within can be such a supportive way of reminding yourself, your inner child, that you are safe and that you're here for them, and that you see them, and that you acknowledge that whatever is coming up needs to come up in this moment. And in terms of what might be coming up for this collective in relation to your inner child, that is bringing a sense of relief, I will cover this, but I got the Envy card. So you can see that this mermaid figure is kind of basking in the sun representing consciousness and truth and light. And, she doesn't seem concerned. She has her eyes closed, so she feels completely safe, just basking in this water. And this figure is looking very envious towards this mermaid figure. And so there may have been something from childhood. What I'm getting from this really is also just comparisons, right? That you might be at a place in your life where, well, I think for this collective, you definitely are. You're at a transition point. You're at a crossroads. And there's a decision you need to make about how you're going to move forward. But there's experiences that you've had in your past and in your childhood that might have had you begin to compare your life with another's life that looks really magical. And you're now looking at your own life and thinking, my life doesn't feel so magical. Like, what's going on here? Why haven't I figured it out? What am I missing? What's gone wrong? And the other card that I got was the cat. But interestingly, in this deck, the cat is depicted as like the devil. So what I'm getting from this is, or as a demon figure, what I'm getting is that this is a reminder that this energy of envy, of comparison of others' lives and experiences is actually contributing to why you might be feeling stuck and why your inner child is feeling abandoned. The path forward for you is not by looking at anyone else. It's not by trying to do what anyone else is doing. And this is the truth. The truth is that for us to live our most fulfilled, most beautiful, most magical, most aligned, coherent, inspired lives, we need to be connected to our own truth, and that will be unique for each person. Like this energy, okay, I'm not going to pick up the cards again, but well, okay, I won't pick up envy because I have to keep covering it, but this energy is literally poison. It's poison to you and to your inner child, and it's leaving your inner child feeling alone and abandoned. What Spirit is asking for in this choice point for this collective that I'm speaking to today, what Spirit is asking for you to do is actually, and so many of these cards that I gotta cover, but it's actually to tune into the energy of sacred lust. So I will read from this deck just to kind of explain what we mean by sacred lust in this at this moment. So Ketesh, who is the goddess of sacred lust, is the Egyptian goddess of sacred sexuality, ecstasy, and fertility. Her two men, there are two male figures depicted here, are the fertility god Min and Montu, the god of war. And her guidance is that you are an erotic creature. Remember that for creation to exist, masculine and feminine needs to come together, and that produces life. It produces creation. And so even within us, if we think about what sexual energy is, it is literally life force energy. You have a divine right to experience sensual ecstasy. It is sacred to give and receive pleasure. And how you bring this into your life, how you bring more of this into your life, is remembering that you deserve to feel good. It feels good to feel good, and so allow yourself to feel good. As an example of what this means in your daily life, so today I had to work on a writing project, and I kept sitting down thinking about getting to my laptop, and I'm in my home, in my office space, and I just wasn't feeling the drive to do this creative work. So I followed my sacred lust. I followed my true desire within, which was to work out, to dance by myself in my space. For those of you who have not done mirror work, I also highly encourage it, especially women. I put some soca music on, danced in front of a mirror. I highly encourage you to do that. really, really connected to my sensual and sexual energy, which is my life force energy. And once I'd done this, I decided to be creative, which is literally what life force energy does, is it supports us with our creativity. So I decided to be creative by going to the beach because it was a gorgeous day and I didn't want to be at home on a gorgeous day, but I still had to do this writing project. And decided while I was on the beach that I was going to spend time in the sun. Spend time in the sun. I was this figure, right? I decided to go spend time in the sun, sit by the beach, and really just enjoy being present with life by myself. Once I had done that and sat with truth, because I've been thinking about truth quite a bit, journaled a bit, I then pulled out my phone and I dictated my writing project. So I decided to just verbally speak out the writing project onto an app on my phone and decided that I would edit it later. And honestly, this process helped me write so much faster than I would have if I had forced myself to just get to my desk and write in the way that I'm supposed to, right? Like, according to who? Who's telling me that I'm supposed to write that way? The only objective is that I get it done. But how I do it is entirely up to me and what works. And I couldn't figure out what worked based on what I knew I should be doing. So I just decided to follow my inherent desire, right? My inherent desire made a decision based on what would bring me pleasure. And I did it. And I completed my writing project in less amount of time than it would have taken me to type it out. And I got to enjoy my body, having fun dancing in my space, got to work out so I felt better, and I got to spend time on a beach in the sun with the sand and the birds. Like, it's freaking amazing. And all for free, right? Like, accessible to me. So you figure out what's accessible to you and what's in your space. But often we get limited in what's possible. And this is the truth. We are limited in thinking about what's possible because we're stuck in this energy, right? We're trapped in this energy that we're so used to. It becomes literally the devil that limits our capacity to live fully, to live in higher alignment and higher coherence than, because we just don't have as much life force energy moving through us. Whew. That's a big one. So another piece that I just wanted to bring into this is that I did notice 8 on this card, and this one is 26, which is also 8. So I am seeing 8-8, which is, for those of you who do follow, is the Lion Gates portal. And we have a lion. She's like literally standing on top of a lion. So I do just want to mention, and we have the moon in both of these. So I am just getting a time frame here as well, related to 8-8, which is the 8th of August, which is Lionsgate. You can look it up if you're interested to know more about what that portal is about. But I do feel like that's a message for some of you that are watching. I think it also could be actually a time frame for a significant turning point in terms of this decision, this choice point that you're making. I think 8th of August, you might gain quite a bit of clarity on how you're redirecting your life or how you're moving forward according to your desires, based on this new understanding that it doesn't come from outside. It really comes from within, and from looking at the parts of you that have felt abandoned because you're constantly comparing yourself to the external world. And in this, I also wanted to bring in a bit around. So I just recently learned from a beautiful woman that I follow, Indigenous woman, a teaching that she had learned around truth and reconciliation that is made up of 4 steps. So beginning with awareness, and then acknowledgement, atonement, and action. And I do feel like in the spirit of this truth that's rising to the surface, and the truth of the experience of your inner child, you know, some of the work that needs to be done on the collective level also needs to be done internally, right? And there's a truth that is seeking awareness within you. Allow it, create that safe space to allow it to come up to the surface so that you can gain awareness of it. And then once you gain awareness, acknowledge it. Don't try to push it away and reject it and pretend that it doesn't apply to you. Really acknowledge it and accept that this is something within you. And then for atonement, the way that I see that is you know, to say that you see the hurt that this may have caused you, and you forgive yourself. You truly forgive yourself, because again, shame and guilt do nothing to help us in our healing journeys or in reconciling internal conflicts, and therefore in reconciling external conflicts. If we can't find forgiveness of self because of the fact that we may not have operated in a way that was actually in our highest good or for the highest good of others, we will continue to repeat that same cycle of conflict over and over again, right? We get trapped by this devil energy. So yeah, atonement is taking accountability and responsibility for the fact that we may not have done things in the past that was in our best interest or in the best interest of others, and understanding that that's okay, because at least now we have an awareness and we can acknowledge that that existed in the past, and now we can take action, right? We can take action to move in a different direction. We can take action to really listen to what's within us and move from that place. Okay. This was a pretty in-depth reading, just with a couple of cards. I had planned to pull a few more cards, so I might just see. Yeah, let me just do. Energy supporting the collective. What's the energy supporting the collective? What's the energy supporting the collective? Thank you. Okay. 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 Hmm. Okay, so the energy that's supporting you is the death card. Oops, there we go. The death card. So the death card represents transformation. Um, it actually represents letting go of old identities that might have been keeping us trapped or stuck. And yeah, literally, old identities that might have been keeping you trapped or stuck. And allowing for new growth, new identity, new patterns, actually, new patterns to come through. Um, yeah, so what I'm getting from this is that you can surrender and trust that when you go through this process of creating space to listen to what's within your heart, creating space to um, support the healing of your inner child, that that process in and of itself is going to lead to a transformation. It's going to lead to a death of this envious energy, this comparison energy, and it's going to bring about, like, through a releasing of that pattern, it's going to bring about a new energy, which is the divine force of fire. I see the divine force of fire as also connected to this idea of our life force energy, right? The creative life force energy. Divine force of fire, for those who know the tarot, is the King of Wands. And okay, just give me a moment. There's something that hmm, mm, I have a really odd feeling in the pit of my belly, and it's sort of um, where these flowers are, um, which is also kind of near the sacral and the root chakra. Hmm. Yeah, there are some fears that you've been holding on to, um, some fears that you've been storing, because the root chakra represents safety and security, but it's also fears when it's imbalanced. So some fears that you've been pushing down, that have been contributing to some of this difficulty. And because I'm seeing these flowers here, that are also represented in the death card, right? So this is what you don't really see, and this is the energy supporting you. And so I'm getting that, again, by allowing this process to happen, you'll be allowing this stuck energy, this repeating pattern, this loop that you have going on, to die and be transformed. And in its place, you'll have, a blossoming. We're also going from skull, death, to life, flowers. So it'll leave you with a blossoming root chakra, a strong, stable, secure foundation. Strong, stable, secure foundation, the root of the earth. You're like seeding, you'll be seeding new foundations for stability that will support the new creations that want to come through you, through your divine desire, is what I'm going to call it. Let's call it divine desire, that's coming through as the divine force of fire. Yeah, okay, so these cards really just feel like confirmation as well, for what we read before. So I think I'll just get one more card from the Animal Oracle deck, Animal Elders by Asha Frost, to see what advice we have from the animals. I mean, we have the cat and the lion, so definitely feeling a lot of feline energy. And then we have the ram in the Emperor card, which is the pattern card in this deck. And this deck is the Lineages of Change Tarot. Okay, so from the Animal Elders, what guidance do we have from the animals? Oh, beautiful. Okay. So on the bottom, I'll just let you know, we have the Elder Bison, open to increased abundance. So that's on its way. And again, we have the beautiful sun illuminating the truth for us here. But we have Elder Porcupine, guard your space. And this is just reminding me again of the safe space, right? That you need to create the safe space to allow this death and process to happen, because the thing that's involved in this situation is your child self, and your child self needs safety, right? Think of children. They are not able to, really process their emotions if they're not given a safe space for that to happen. And think about how many times we've told children, and perhaps even yourself, where you've been told, to stop crying or to just keep kind of moving forward with life. That's something that's so deeply ingrained in so many of us. It's become this pattern that has actually created fear and insecurity within us. And so this is a reminder, also because it's nighttime, and so there's a moon here. We've got the moon in the corner, that the moon represents our inner world and our world of emotions. And so guarding your space, protecting that inner world where the little you sits, so that when you do create that space for this transformation to occur, that it happens in a safe way. The reason why I was laughing, though, is because this necklace that I'm actually wearing for the first time has porcupine quills on it. It was just gifted to me by a very dear person in my life. And I'm laughing at the synchronicities of that. But I will read from this deck as well, to guard your space. And I opened right on the page. Okay, so here we go. Guard your space. Porcupine's quills are a powerful deterrent against predators, and this elder brings this medicine to you as self-protection. Elder Porcupine offers you a potent shield to strengthen your barrier against the outside world. This card appears when you are facing an energetic attack or you are feeling vulnerable to chaotic global or relational energies that swirl around. It reminds you that you have the power to employ this protection, and it should be a focus for you at this time. Elder Porcupine carries the medicine of strong boundaries, knowing when to lower their quills and when to be on guard. You are being asked to be honest with your needs and truth. Ooh, be honest. What did I say? Be honest with your needs, your desires, and your truth. It's your truth. Are there areas of your life where others are stepping over your boundaries? Or perhaps there are places where you are having a hard time asserting yourself. This elder is here to help you gain the courage you need to establish a safe and protected space for your mind, body, and spirit. Beautiful. Yeah, your energetic quills are informing you of when it's safe to be vulnerable and when it's not. Continue to nurture relationships with those who respect your needs and honor your voice. We're back to throat. What needs to be shared, and how can you create the safe space for it to come through your voice? And through that process, also making sure that you can find the spaces where others create safety for your voice to be heard. You have what it takes to protect your heart and well-being. Establishing healthy boundaries with those around you is essential to your growth. Elder Porcupine is here to safeguard your sacred space, and you can count on those quills to block any energies trying to harm you. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, and I'm going to get one last. I also, again, just want to note I'm seeing a lot of fours. 444 could be relevant for someone. 88 with the Lionsgate portal, and 33 on this card. So 33, 33, but also 6 is standing out to me. Oh yeah, and actually there's another 44 on the poison. So we have 44, 13, which is 4, 4, and then 14, but another 4 there. And all of that is also having me think of stability. Like 444 is also about stability and protection, actually. Stability and protection. Beautiful. Okay, so angel number, just to close this reading. And if you're still here, thank you for staying till the end. And please like and subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date on my next reading. Okay, beautiful. So we have 2 cards, angel numbers. We have 222. I am balanced. Trust that the seeds of your thoughts are growing as you are nourishing them with words, feelings, and action. So again, we're at a choice point. Use this moment to allow those seeds that want to come up, that have not felt safe to come up, so that you can plant them and take action towards those desires. Nourish those desires. Nourish the desires of your inner child. It wants to come out and play. And who says you can't do that as an adult? And 777, I am in the flow. Your purpose flows from within you, and everything that is unfolding or being revealed to you is part of your purpose, a state of peace and calmness in your soul. Beautiful. And on that note, I wish you all a wonderful rest of your evening, morning, a lovely day, and I'll see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.